Well, welcome everybody. I am so excited here to be with one of my good friends, Kelly Robinson. She has a brand new exciting opportunity to tell us all about, and I think many of you are going to end up working with her closely, which is terrific. So, welcome, Kelly. Great to see you.
Thank you, Marilyn, and happy anniversary to you and Victor.
Thank you. 30 years. We're still there. It's all good. Okay,
Awesome.
so, let's just start at the beginning. You've had I would almost say two sets of careers within real estate now, which is terrific. But kind of walk us through your journey from, where you started way back when to all the different fun things that you've done. You were with what was then Market Links, I think. I don't even know. You can tell us. And now back to Cotality. So just give us your background.
Oh yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah.
So I back in the 90s, I got my real estate license and sold real estate for a Remax. And I was just super young and gung ho, right? And then owned a couple of Remax franchises and in California, sold those. And then I saw the internet and thought, this is really cool, and created kind of like one of the first little portals. And we just realized that wasn't a great business model, trying to get agents to pay for put their listings on every month. And we thought, the MLS system is, dot matrix printers, black and white screens. It was horrible back then, right? And we thought, these websites look so pretty. What if our MLS could look like the pretty web pages? And so that's how we became an MLS vendor. And that was Realty Plus Online.
Okay.
And that was great. We had so many awesome clients, and they really kind of committed to and invested in and trusted in our little startup. So we always are incredibly thankful to all of them. And then we ended up selling that company in 2001 to First
Okay.
American Corporation, First American Title. So,
Okay.
and then they also acquired Market Links right after us,
Got it.
and Inter Realty, and we all became one big family at First American. And then that had a spinoff, which became CoreLogic, 2011, I believe, 2010, 2011. And then that's right after that is when I kind of started stepping back. I was senior vice president of MLS for First American. And then I started stepping back to just raise my kids, stay home. I didn't want to travel so much, didn't want to miss things with my kids. So they were super gracious and let me take my time and pull back at my own speed. Always appreciate them for that. And so then it's it's been full circle now, because I did some consulting, worked in MLS, and then basically the people reached out to me from different folks in the industry and said, you should really go back. I think you're going to like it over at Cotality. It's the right people. It's the right time for you to come back. And so here I am.
That's awesome. So you said something which I thought was fun, that it's really not, yes, it's a professional move, but it feels kind of like a homecoming. So how does it feel? Does it feel like that when you're, yeah, I mean, I know you've been there for about a minute, so it's brand new, but how does it feel so far? Does it feel like kind of like going home?
Well, it's so great. This industry is so unique compared to, I think, any other type of industry. We all know each other. We all go so far back. And at Cotality specifically, I have so many great friends and relationships there that I've known for 20, 30 years. So it's an easy slide right back in. We're right on. We understand each other. We know how fast we each want to work. So I love the people. And then more than anything, I love the clients. So just reaching out to some of my old clients that I've known for years that are also Cotality clients has been so much fun. It's like, what? You're with Cotality now? I'll see you at breakfast and CMLS next week. So it's an easy slide back in, and it's going to be lots of big hugs.
I'm sure there'll be lots of big hugs. I'm going to give you one for sure. So your job, from what I understand, is called Head of Client Success. What does that mean? Like, what's your goal? Like, how does it work within the structure? Who do you report to, and what is that job kind of? What's its definition?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun role, a little work, but it'll be fun. So Kevin Green is our general manager. So I
Hmm.
report to Kevin,
Okay.
and Kathy King is head of sales, and I'll be head of client success. So Kathy and I, we're going to be joined at the hips, and we're partners. So she has her sales team. I have the client success team, and they recently created a new setup in the last year or so where each salesperson is tied directly with one client success manager who will be on my team now. And so they tag team together for each client. So the goal is you've got, double the amount of resources now to help every client. And
Right.
so I'll be in charge of the client side. And really what that means is helping everything that might cause friction for our clients, right? How do
Got
we
it.
remove that friction? How do we make the clients delighted with us, right?
Hmm. Yeah, so that's going to be a big job because there'll be all kinds of different, every client's going to have a little bit different set of, I know they all have a list. So you're going to be getting lots of lists, I'm sure, at CMLS.
I've
And
gotten a
what
few
kind of
already.
clients, well, yeah, will you be working with? Is it just MLSs or other types, or what's your scope?
Right. At this point, it's our existing customer base,
Okay.
primarily MLSs and associations. There are even some internationals and a couple of other
Hmm.
types of clients. But yeah, definitely the primary focus is our MLS association client base. There's always exciting new ideas and tools and opportunities. So who knows if that'll expand in the future.
Gotcha. So you do have a very interesting and a diverse background and a long background, but as you said, you started as an agent. I think you recently went back and did a little bit of business along those lines as well. You've worked for technology companies. You've worked for what was the precursor to now what Cotality is. How do you think that whole blend of all those different perspectives are going to help you in the job as head of client success?
Mm. I think what I find really helpful is that I can understand what each stakeholder in this giant industry, I understand what they do every day, what they're thinking about, what causes frustration, and what is their win, right? So
Mhm.
from an agent perspective, I understand what it's like to log into the MLS and something isn't working. I understand what it's like when you just want to get a CMA done and out the door because you've got an appointment. You don't want to learn this and that and have all these cool things that maybe the technologists thought were great. And let me have you walk through this and that. It's like, no, no, no. I just want my CMA and I want to get that listing, right? So
Right.
there's a balance, right? So I think I understand what the agents want. I definitely understand what the brokers want from their perspective of recruiting, retention, keeping their own brand identity so that
Hmm.
everything isn't equal in their region. And I understand the MLS association world and how they have to manage the needs of those agents and the brokers, right? Their differing needs. And then I understand what it's like to be the vendor trying to understand all three of those different stakeholders and put it
Hmm.
in a package that makes everybody happy. It's a tough job being an MLS vendor. It really is.
Hmm.
So hopefully I will be able to understand what each party needs and help communicate that back into Cotality, into the various departments so that we can have client success.
Perfect. I love it. Um, So this is way beyond Cotality, but I just love your perspective as an industry leader and thought leader. How do you think that the MLS landscape has changed? Because you were there literally at the very beginning when this whole concept of attractive MLS systems was born, right? How has it
Right.
changed now, and where do you think it's going from here?
I remember when we first started promoting the web-based MLS system, late 90s. And I had some of the nicest MLS CEOs in the industry that were giving me their time and listening. But they were so funny. They were like, that's a nice idea, but web-based MLSs will never actually work.
That's
I was
funny.
like, okay. Back then they were parallel. So I get it, right? There were parallel systems. That's what we used to call them. But yeah, it was just, it mirrored what was in the big workhorse, the old InterRealty type systems. And so, wow, it's that you can't find a system that isn't web based. You can't find anything that isn't web based anymore. So, huge changes. And there were so many changes coming. And I think we all need to remember how the internet came along, right? We fought it, every people pushed against it, they feared it. It came anyway. There's nothing we can do about it. So it's really just everything that's coming now, whether it's AI, whether it's changes with the NAR relationship with MLSs, whether it's cooperation and compensation, all of these things that are happening. I think it's learn, listen, embrace, and then move, right? You got to embrace it. You got to figure out how to do it safely, how to do it so that it works with your business, but you've got to embrace it. You can't put your head in the sand.
Yep.
And then you need to figure out how to deliver it.
Yeah, it's nice working for a large company like Cotality that has the capital to pay that off, right? You can talk about it, but they've got the money to actually build things, which will actually keep the
Yeah.
industry evolving, which is great. So this is more of a question about kind of again your job there, because I don't think there's been a head of client success, at least not in the near past future. Um, but Kevin says in the, when in the press release that we just read, that you will be an immensely valuable part of our leadership team, which is very no pressure, Kelly. You better be immensely valuable. But how do you plan to collaborate with the other departments? And what kinds of departments do you envision yourself collaborating in this job of head of client success?
Yeah, I think it's a unique position because in order to have success for our clients, it means that every department of our company
Hmm.
has to be working in a smooth, remove the friction, communicate well with the clients. It means that everything has to go smoothly on every side of the company. So I'm really fortunate that I've already spoken with heads of product, heads of marketing, heads of sales, the client delivery, so client services. It's a big group of people, but everybody is very focused on the same goal of having a great company and treating our clients well and having top-notch security and software. And they are delivering it. We have an amazing amount of data. We have an amazing amount of work in the AI area that you were talking about, the new things earlier. So we have huge investments in all these areas. We have people that want to do whatever they can to help the clients. They're all very dedicated. So it's really just about me trying to connect with all of them and how do we make it all smooth, right? And make sure that everything we have of value for our customers is
Mhm.
being delivered in the right package with the right bow, the right communication, and that we're following through. So just putting processes in place and tightening up all of our relationships in-house to improve our relationships with our clients.
That's great. So yeah, that's a big scope. To work
Yeah.
with everyone effectively, but then to really, what I'm hearing you say is you're going to harness all those departments to do the best thing they can for each of your customers. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. And to
Yeah,
help each other's departments too, right? Nobody wants an unhappy client
right.
and having to rush and fix something, right? It's better if we can understand an issue before it becomes an issue, and
Hmm.
then even the staff is happier, right? So success for our staff, success for our clients means success for our company.
Love it. Okay. Um, so again, I'm going to kind of ask you some of these bigger picture questions. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for growth and improvement in how MLS providers, and I mean Cotality specifically, but really all MLS providers, how can they can continue to evolve that relationship between themselves and their MLS customers to really to best serve their needs? And it's not even their needs, right? It's the needs of the brokers that they serve and the agents they serve and then the consumers that those folks serve. You kind of have to look at the whole ecosystem. But what's the best way to continue to expand the value, I guess, of the and the depth of the partnership that Cotality can bring to your customers?
Totality has so much to offer. And being that I've only just started, I'm just getting into how much they have. And, of course, I'm familiar with Matrix and Realist and all of their security and clarity dashboards and all of those great things. And as I'm getting involved now and I'm seeing this huge amount of additional software, it's it's kind of mind-boggling. So they've put together an amazing set of software. And
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of value to our clients if they can see how each piece might fit,
Hmm.
pick the ones they want, the ones they don't like, no problem if they're not ready for this or that, or they're getting it elsewhere. But
Hmm.
I think really it's how do we understand our clients' needs?
Hmm.
Where are they at, right? Where does this MLS need to go next? What is their issue that they need to replace an old system or something? And then what do we have that might fit? And it's really just that consultative, know your customer.
Hmm.
What's in their world? What's happening in their market? What do we have that might assist? But again, we have so much that I think that can be a challenge, just breaking apart everything we have. It's a little overwhelming to a client, I'm sure, how many options they have within our company. So that'll be another big, I guess, objective is to figure out what each client needs and how we can distill everything we have in an easy to communicate fashion so they can see what they might want.
Yeah, I mean, the MLSs have the same problem. You guys have it at a larger scope because there are so many
Mhm.
products within the Cotality family, not even in the MLS space, but if you go across the country, a company, right?
Right.
Uh, do you envision doing things that might help your MLS customers, help their customers take better advantage of all the things that you provide, whether that be, I don't know, communications or training or any of the things like that that help them understand how to help the practitioners understand how to use these things in practical ways?
Yeah, I think we're open to everything. I've had great conversations with marketing, client delivery, and we're all very bright-eyed and open to whatever ideas can make the entire process easier. So yeah, I think everybody's willing to look at new ways to communicate. And if we can communicate things to the MLS in a way that they can easily push it out to their agents,
Mhm.
great, happy to do that. So I think it's all about just figuring out what are the priorities of our clients. And if
Mhm.
that's one of the priorities they want, we're all in.
Perfect. All right. So, what have I not asked you that you'd like to just share with your new set of friends, or I should say your new set of friends? You're coming back to your old set of friends. What
Hey, and
anything
there's
else you want to say to them before we cut out today?
Yeah, hey, and there are lots of new friends too, right? I don't know everybody, that's for sure. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of the folks that I haven't run across in my career so far. So
Mhm.
looking forward to meeting everybody at CMLS next week. And really, it's just this is going to be the next, 30 days, 60 days is just going to be talking to everybody and finding out what they think Cotality could be for them. What do they need from us? And how can we do better? Or what do they already love that we're doing great? And I just had a great conversation with a customer the other day, and she just said there is no other MLS vendor that can deliver the same way that we can. We have it down.
Mhm.
And I thought that was awesome. And she's actually now co-CEO. She's a CEO of two different MLSs and just moved the second
Wow.
MLS to Matrix as well. So I love hearing those stories. I want to hear more of those stories. And I
Mhm.
want to help create that same client satisfaction that she has for everybody in the country and Canada and abroad.
Awesome. Okay, so I don't know if you even have an email address yet, but I'll ask you if someone
Sure.
wants to get in touch with you, whether they want to say hello at CMLS next week or obviously well beyond that. How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, sure. My email is KE Robinson
Okay.
at Cotality.com. You
Okay.
can also find me on LinkedIn, and I even know my phone number here somewhere, 817, haha, 699-4358. So yeah, anybody, love to talk to you, reach out, and I will hopefully see a lot of you, and you, Marilyn, in particular, at
Yes.
CMLS in Toronto.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It's great to have you back. We missed you for a few months there when you went off to be a regular practitioner. So we're glad to have you back in leadership, so to speak. And yeah, we'll be seeing you soon. We're excited to hear where it goes. And I open invitation to come back to RE Technology and Wave Group if you want to tell us more about exciting things that you're launching as you go forward.
Love to check in 2026. Sounds great.
All
Thanks
right.
for
Thank you
having me,
so much. You
Marilyn.
have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.